Dan and his group comes in to do a demonstration. I went, because I've been thinking about doing something in January, but I didn't know. And I had some guys come in and do some airflow measurements and things of that nature. So I've got this big metal building, high pitched, it's got a heat sink that comes in. I'm going, I don't know if I'll ever be able to do what I want to do. Visiting with these guys and seeing that demo, we began our talks about what we could do. They brought their team in. And what we decided to do is this path of improvement. And the lights are all brand new. They took these old bay lights that hang down, 400 amp per watt lights that direct down. We had old ballast lights, that were hanging down with the old bulbs, and we're I don't know, let Dan explain, but they're putting the inside, the coating on the outside to reflect cheap. We've got the window tinting, and we're air conditioning. And my guys are so excited they can't handle it. Yesterday I came there with the AC, and the guys out in the forklift looking to help us get this job done a little faster. So as you walk through, comments, I know they're going to do a little demonstration. If you have comments about what we do in terms of manufacturing, ask the questions. We build perforating tools. Those are the tools that go down hole in the well, perforate the earth's formation, allows the oil and gas to come up into the well and then retrieve. So that's our main line of business. Over the years, we've built 36,000 more square feet across the street in 2006. Air conditioned it last year. And Dan and his group have made significant improvements that they'll comment on. And basically, as you're talking to machine shop owners or people that are wanting to build a building, I think there's a lot to be learned about some of the things that we've done. And anytime you want to bring a customer by to see what has happened in here, regardless of what type of building that is, call me and be more than happy to do that for you. So I guess we'll turn it over to you, Dan, and let you talk a little bit about what you want to do in the demo itself.
Yeah, right. Well, first off, two big thank yous. Mike, thank you for the opportunity to work with you and your team. It's been a pleasure. And Duncan, Tom, thank you for bringing us in to Texas Citizens, both the session branches, but also to present to your bankers, which led to the introduction of mine. So thank you very much. I know you guys are in a relationship referral business, and this is a great example of how that is, because obviously that drives our business too. A couple of quick introductions. My business partner, Plaza Nazir. Rusty Ferris, who is our Chief Operations Director, who led the assessment and oversaw the project management of Phase 1 and now Phase 2 of the project. Jennifer DeBrinka, who keeps everything, and Sherry Watson, who keeps everything running smoothly in the back. And Adam Horton, who is our project manager as well. Very importantly as well, as you know, with our model, we have what we call solution partners. We don't call them subcontractors, they're solution partners in every sense of the way. And hiding in the back is Bob Lane and Mike Dillon, who Mike's our master electrician on the project, and Bob is our head HVAC expert and oversaw the lighting as well as the green panel installation and now the upgrade to the HVAC in this building. So when we, as we explained when we met before, the way EES works is we first conduct what we call the easy assessment, and that is a 2 to 4 week process where we come in with our solution partners like Bob. We assess the building, and we are looking for very specific opportunities to reduce the energy consumption, water consumption, or the waste management expense of that facility. And once we gather the information, pull their last 12 months of energy, actual energy bills and expense, then we can evaluate the different solution possibilities, and if it falls under a 4-year payback, it makes the cut, and then we'll do the deep dive on that, put it out to bid, cost it out, forecast the savings. If there's any rebates that apply, we'll bring those in, and then we'll present it back in a nice professional report like this that details out the recommendations, the pricing, and then some benchmarks on where we're going to take it from here to here, how that compares to industry benchmarks, what the NPV is of the savings, and so forth. So there's a financial aspect as well as an operational aspect. in this case, this was a jewel. Right? This was a great opportunity. And when we met, we talked about how EES principally focuses on 1- or 2-story freestanding owner-occupied buildings. That's where we can have the greatest impact on customers. So this falls squarely into that definition. And the reason is because in this environment, we have a lot of heat. If you can prevent heat from coming into the building in the first place, that's our #1 objective. Secondly, we're going to look to see how can we remove heat from the inside. You can do that through lighting retrofits. We remove some. Bob and his team have identified that some of the cooling equipment in here is exhausting inside the building, so we're going to pull that outside the building. Things that will reduce the heat load on the air conditioning unit, like in the other building, soon to be this building, but also things that will create more comfort for the workers inside. Then we'll look to see how can we reduce the wattage that's being used. Lighting is one area. And then we have a new device that we've introduced into our mix called the Green Energy Panel, which Bob will demonstrate in the other building. That is an absolutely fantastic new innovation that we've going here. So just to give you a sense of where we started here, the average utility cost per square foot when you combine these two buildings was about $2.22 a square foot. A good kind of commercial building benchmark nationwide is about $1.18, $1.20. Okay? So they're relatively high compared to an industry average. When we went through and looked at the opportunities, we identified several opportunities. First was the lighting in this building. The lighting in this building, and Rusty will demonstrate in a minute, had some old 400-watt metal halide buildings like this one on the ground. We and they were inconsistent. Many of them were burned out. The lighting had degraded, so there's both a quality of light, possibly a safety issue, and just an energy inefficiency issue. So we retrofitted the lighting in this building. The lighting around on the perimeter, the wall packs, like this one, that's an LED wall pack we retrofitted. The pole lights, all old, inefficient. Some of them didn't work. Again, kind of a safety issue in the parking lot. This is a 24/7 operation. We also looked at the coatings. In a building like this, without protection on the ceiling, you can get about up to 60% of the air conditioning load or the heat load coming directly through the roof. Right? So if we can reflect the vast majority of that heat, then you're going to, by definition, start to cool down the contents. This building had some protection. The other building did not, so we put our coating on the roof of this other building. But we also have metal siding. And so the two sides that catch the most heat, we're putting our coating on the siding. We're going to match the colors so that you can't tell which sides have the coating and which don't. But that'll keep the heat coming in from the metal siding. These two buildings also have windows that go around the perimeter. Single pane glass. A lot of heat comes through that single pane glass, and so we put solar film on those windows to protect the light the heat from coming in. And now that Mike's going to air condition this building, those windows can now remain closed during the hottest time, so you'll really get the benefit of that heat protection. And then finally, we installed what we call the Green Energy Panel, which is a device that is what I consider a power optimizer. And it does several things for the buildings. One, it cleans up the power going into the building. And that, as the dirty power that comes in that is not consistent, will make it consistent and clean it up, so your equipment is now running off of consistent, clean power. And it will run smoother, and Bob is going to demonstrate this very clearly in the other building. It will also provide, now that we're in an age where energy prices are moving up, digital meters will allow the utility companies to start to charge you a higher rate during peak demand, during the highest point during the day, principally in the afternoon. If you can figure out how to reduce your peak demand usage, you will dramatically decrease your energy cost, because you get a disproportionate charge during that period of time. So this power optimizer device actually stores some energy and will actually provide the energy for cycling equipment when it needs it without having to go to the grid in the middle of the day, anytime during the day, and buy that expensive power to just cycle on and on. And so these are the things that we identified. Roughly the lighting, the coating, and the optimizer represented about roughly a third of the savings each. We identified about $83,000 of annual savings that Hunt will enjoy. That will be offset with the addition of the air conditioning unit, but in its original state is about an $83,000. That's about a 44% reduction off of his previous year. That will take his cost per square foot from about $2.22 down to about $1.23 per square foot, which puts him in line with the national and I know that we're focused on energy efficiency and making from a cost savings, but certainly I think Mike would agree there's certainly some benefits from the workers and their enjoying better life, better safety, and a better work environment. It helps. And they say that Mike is investing in them. One last thing we mentioned is that we looked at rebates and any tax deductions that Mike may qualify for as a result of his improvements. And we identified that he would qualify for the federal EPACT program, which we identified about $22,000 that he can take advantage of in a tax deduction. And we're working through that process with our tax partner. We can provide the paperwork to validate that his investment in lighting and will actually qualify him for this. And so that's another service that we look at in the assessment. And we again will project manage the whole thing. We'll make sure that all those tax deductions and the energy efficiency measures. Any questions so far?
Especially at night, when it's running darker, they're running their cutter, they're running the cutter, running the building, it's all the smoke and everything pops up, and it gets to where the lights they can't hardly see at night, when they're working. Because of all the.
We're also exhausted, so that'll also have exhausting, what we call shot smut out on the burning side. At night, we're not doing some of those activities, other than just general cutting, and we don't see it in our lights. I think it has